Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to be making fraction kits. The first thing you'll need is 5 strips of colored paper. If you don't have colored paper, we can use white paper and color it at the end. Okay, so we're going to be making our fraction kits. Every fraction starts with a whole. So the first thing I'm going to do is label my first strip of paper 1, because that's one whole. We haven't done anything to our paper. Then my second fraction is going to be a half. So to create a half, we're going to take our next sheet of paper and we're going to fold it in half. Make sure that you push down really hard so you get a good crease. Okay, then when I open it, I'm going to label each side 1/2 and I'm going to draw a line down the middle. Remember, we don't call it 1/2s or 1/2s, we call it 1/2 because 1/2 sounds silly. Then our next strip of paper, we're going to fold it like the letter Z. So you start at the bottom and you fold it down and then you fold it over. So when you're looking at it this way, it's going to look like the letter Z. Make sure you smush down the edges really carefully and you'll have great creases. Then when you open it up, you're going to draw your lines and label it. You're going to have 1/3 because you've divided your strip of paper into 3 equal parts. So I have 1, 2, 3. 3 equal parts. So for the half, I have 2 equal parts. For the thirds, I have 3 equal parts. I bet you can guess what comes next. We are going to take our paper and fold it in half and fold it in half again. Remember, a fourth is half of a half. So I'm going to smush down my edges again really carefully to make sure I get those creases so I know where to draw my lines. Then I'm going to open my strip of paper and I will see that my paper has been divided into 4 equal parts. When we divide something into 4 equal parts, we're creating fourths. So I want everyone to draw their lines and label 1/4. Then our last fraction we will be creating is 1/8. Now this is tricky because it's half of a fourth. So the first thing you have to do is fold it in half because a fourth is half of a half. Then we fold it into fourths. Now to get eighths, we fold our fourths in half. And this is where you gotta use your muscles because the paper's kind of thick now, and smush down those edges. Okay, then when I undo it, I will see that I have 8 equal parts. So I'm going to label it 1/8. The next thing we're going to do now is cut our fractions. So we're going to follow everywhere we drew a red line and cut down that line. So I want you cutting with me. Now my lines aren't perfect because we all know Miss Mullins has trouble drawing straight lines. But I bet my artists have really nice straight lines. Okay, and last one, the 1/8. Okay. Now I want to show you something that's really cool about fractions. I start with my whole, right? Because we all know we have to have a whole before we can have a fraction. So now I can move my 1/2s up to my whole. Notice that a half and a half makes a whole. See how it's the same size as my whole that I started with? Now, something else that's cool. Move up your 1/3 to your whole. If I have 3/3, I have 3 1/3. 3/3 make a whole. Move those out of the way. Bring up your 4ths. Notice how many fourths do I have? So I have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 fourths. 4 fourths make a whole. And my last are the eighths. Now I'm going to line them up the best that I can. They're smaller pieces. So I'm going to have to do it slowly. All right, look. So now I got to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 eighths make a whole. So I hope you enjoy using your fraction kit. What I would do is I would get a Ziploc baggie like this one. And when you've created your fraction kit, I want you to put it in the Ziploc baggie. Also for homework, I'd like you to take a picture of your fraction kit and send it to me. I hope you all have fun learning about math.